Good evening, dear devotees and friends. We will be studying the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Let us begin. Tava kathamritam tattva jivanam kabibhiriritam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e Bhurida Janaha. It's November 9, 1884 in Dakshineshwar. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in his room talking with Vijay Krishna Goswami and many other devotees. The discussion is going on. At the last time, in the last Wednesday, we studied who can have the spiritual awakening? A very important question. Who can have the spiritual awakening? And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna answering, only he who has renounced his attachment to worldly things. We read this line before also, but this is a very important that all of us, millions and millions of people are trying to realize God. But the question is, who can have? And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, it is not this religion, that philosophy, this path, that path. Only one thing is very clear. He who has renounced his attachment to worldly things. His attachment to worldly things. That much. In whatever manner, whatever process, if we are free from the attachment of the worldly things, we are living with that, maybe having those things, but if we are not attached to this, friends, this is very important, because we are about religion, we are a bit confused, and that is the reason sometimes we do not understand what is what and what to do and what not to do, and very easy way to say, I don't believe in religion, I don't believe in God. So that is very easy to say, but to understand the reality, this is the only thing, no attachment. So this is the first thing. If the sap of attachment is totally dried up, in a man, the slightest suggestion kindles his spiritual emotion. The spiritual emotion that is about the God and the existence of God, that he is so much convinced that his mind is completely withdrawn, there is no bondage, no attachment, no attraction, no desire for these worldly things. So in his little suggestion, immediately his mind goes to that. Pain and pleasure are inevitable in a body. There's sometimes some people they think that when we are spiritual, when you are religious, why there should be suffering? That is inevitable. As long as the body is there, it will be there. So perhaps I told you that when I was a brahmachari, I don't know why a gentleman started following me. He liked me. He started, Brahmachari ji, wherever you will go, I will also follow. Then afterwards, it was so embarrassing. I was not understanding. I was a novice. And what to say to him, I cannot say, don't come, don't follow. Then what happened one day, when he came, I was there in the ashrama, he came to meet me, and I went and sat with him in our meeting room in Advaita Ashram, and in Calcutta. That day I was not feeling well, so I took some antibiotic or something, some medicine before him. Oh, he said, oh my God, you being a brahmachari and a monk, you too are having this physical pain? Well, of course, we are having that. From the next day, he stopped visiting me. That was a great relief for me too. But this is the way people always think, that religion means there will be no problem, no all these things. They think that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna very clearly mentioning over here It is the page 658. Pain and pleasure are inevitable in a body. He who has realized God dedicates his mind and life, his body and soul to God. He is constantly thinking about God, but it doesn't mean that he won't have the physical problem. Physical, just as it is, it goes. With all others also same way. Sri Ramakrishna remained silent a few moments, watching the devotees. Then he said to Mahimacharan, who was not believing in accepting a guru, he said to Mahimacharan, a man should have faith in the words of his guru. Guru means the spiritual teacher, a preceptor. The guru is he who has already had that. Now one thing, along with this, Ramakrishna is telling, don't go and judge the character of your guru, because you do not know. Different type of gurus are there. Their external appearance, behavior may be different. But if they are genuine, their words carries power. That's true. So that is the main thing. Sometimes we think that it should be like this. In my own life, it so happened. Because we always see that the rishis, munis in the picture, so they are having the long beard and the long hair. They are well built and very tall, like that. So they are imaginative. But when I went to take the initiation from the 10th president of the Ramakrishna order, the Srimad Swami Ishatmananda ji, I was in the beginning when I saw him, the small little man, lean and thin, and no beard, no long hair. So all these days, imagination. Then I was thinking, oh, this is the guru. But I was thinking guru should be like this and that. But he was a very strong and highly spiritual personality. Friends, I am blessed that I was not having any hesitation to receive initiation from him, and afterwards I could feel that he is truly very highly a spiritual personality. So this Swami Ishatmananda ji, his figure was like that, but in spirituality he was completely different. The funny thing happened. So one gentleman came. Sometimes people, they are like that. They came and he was telling, I like to take initiation from you. And then I was in India. So in India, only President Swamiji and the Vice President Swamijis, they give initiation. In Europe and America, it is different. The President Swamiji give permission to us to give the initiation. On his behalf, we give initiation. But there in India, no other monks are supposed to give the initiation in Ramakrishna tradition. But this person was going on telling me, I like to take initiation. I know, that is embarrassing. I told, why? No, you look like Netaji Subhash Chandra. I told, oh, you feel like that? It's a good looking person. You better go and take initiation from Uttam Kumar. It's a Bengali, the movie, the very great hero. So you better go. But he is very good looking. So you better go and take, if only that figure. It is not the figure. You know what is this guru? That in one Hindi couplet, it says very nicely, Sadguru paave, भेद बतावे, ज्ञान करे उपदेश, कैला की मैला न रहे जब आग करे परवेश. This is beautifully giving an example that the blackness of of a coal, it goes away when it come in contact with the fire. The fire burns it and then makes it all red. So completely different, as if the dirt of that coal, it goes away when it comes in contact with the fire. Similarly, all the dirts, all the shortfalls, everything goes away when one come in to contact with a guru. How? By his Upadesh, the guidances, spiritual guidances. Sadguru pave Ved batave. What he does, he will tell you the difference between the worldly things and the spirituality, the God and his creation, this world. That he will tell. He will teach you how to discriminate, how to judge. So that is the way one gets the liberation. The guru is very, very essential. We learn everything from someone, and that is the guru. And when you are going to get the idea about the God, the guru is very, very essential. The guidance of the guru, and you have to have the faith on him, devotion, and then only the teachings that gives the benefit. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling to this Mahimacharan. Why Mahimacharan was not ready to accept Guru? Because Mahima studied the Vedanta. This is the problem, the undigested thing. The Vedanta teaches that you are that. Now to whom they are teaching? When you go to a Vedantin, he will say, again, you have to accept that as a guru. And he said that, Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. I am that Brahman, you are also the same. That much. Then he is not doing anything. So that is the reason those who are trying to follow the path of Vedanta, means the path of knowledge, they should be ready. Their mind should be ready. So when we study the Ashtavakra, the student who is coming, his mind is completely ready. And the teacher Ashtavakra, the moment he says, you are that, immediately he realizes that, he understands that. It's not so easy. The Janaka, when he came, and the story goes like that, the Guru told, before I give you initiation, you have to give me the Guru Pranami. The Guru Pranami when he is giving, and Janaka gave, I give my body, my mind, my soul at your feet. And I give all my properties, this kingdom to you. I am not having anything. Oh Guru, please give me the knowledge. The Guru told, well, wait over here. And he left. And he was not coming back. The Janaka, in the beginning he was thinking, where he has gone? He has taken away everything now and left me alone over here, and he is not coming back. But then, as because the Janaka was already ready for that, he started thinking, oh no, I have given my body, so the pain that I am feeling now standing over here, I should not feel, because this body doesn't belong to me. Look at it. And then I am thinking whether Guru will come back or not. I should not think, because mind I have given to him. And I don't have anything around over here. I should not move. Where I will go? Because the whole kingdom I have given to him. I don't have any place to move. I don't have anywhere to go. So he was standing over there like a piece of wood, just like a tree. And with a calm mind, he got the revelation. So that is the way they get the Vedantic teaching. Simply reading some Vedantic books and a few slokas of the Upanishad and a little bit of this and that, Vivek Chudamani, and we feel that we are the follower of the Jnanamargi. That is not so easy. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the great teacher, he is not criticizing, but he is guiding. He is helping. He understood Mahimacharan is having that desire to realize Brahman, so he is not accepting Guru. The Sri Ramakrishna is teaching him, and he is telling, The aim of the Jnani is to know the nature of his own self. Just 3-4 lines, Sri Ramakrishna is giving the complete idea of the Vedanta. We read so many hundreds of books, but here if we read, that's why I again and again say the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is the Panchama Veda. It teaches us in every page, and so wonderfully, so simple way he is teaching us the highest Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. And he is telling that the aim of the Jnani means one who is trying to realize the Brahman and following the path of knowledge, the path of discrimination. So that is Jnani, is to know the nature of his own self. This is knowledge. This is liberation. The true nature of the self is that it is the Supreme Brahman. Here the it, I is capital, that is Supreme Brahman. The Brahman, as we know, the students of Vedanta and those who are following the classes, the Brahman without attributes and Brahman with attributes. Brahman without attributes is the Supreme Brahman. Without attributes is not creating or doing anything. So all the gunas, sattva, raja, tama, and an equilibrium, and it is all tranquil, and there is no work, no desire, no action, and that is called Supreme Brahman. But when that changes, because Brahman itself wanted the change, so it becomes Swaguna Brahma. Then the gunas which was already there in the potent form now gets activated. So Swaguna. Now we can understand. So the Sattva, Raja, Tama, all these things get activated. So that is a separate Brahman. It is called, when we go back to our own self, this is called knowledge, the liberation. The true nature of the self is that it is Supreme Brahman. The true nature of the self. What is the self? That is our soul, with the power of which we can think that we are surviving. I am talking, I am moving, I am eating, I am doing so much, so many works. With the help of that particular power, which is nothing but the reflection of the Supreme Brahman, that Brahman, the Chaitanya, the consciousness, and that is also known as self. So that when we go back, immediately it revealed to us. How? Because we go and merge into that. And this is a subjective experience. No one can express what happens after that. No one can say like that. But there is a process to go back to that. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna will teach us. I and the Supreme Brahman are one, but this knowledge is hidden on account of Maya. This knowledge is hidden on account of Maya. Knowledge is there already, but it is not revealed to us because Maya. What is the Maya? Again, the power of that Brahman and what he is doing. And again we have discussed the Maya is completely covering the truth and then superimposing something on that. That is the power of Maya. And we are under the spell of that. We cannot remove that cover. The moment we can remove that, we need not to go and find, it is already there. The Brahma Jnana or the Ishwar Labha, that means we are going and having something, achieving something, an object somewhere, we go and find it, not like that. Already there, but we are unaware of it. Sometimes the people, they put their glasses on their head and they forget. They go on searching for the glass. The glass is already there. Then someone will say, hey, touch your head and you find that. And he will touch and then find the glasses over there. That much. The Guru will come and say, you are already that, where you were searching. What you are searching? So that is when we are talking, it seems it is just like finding the glasses on the head. It is as simple as that, but because of the Maya, we are deluded, we don't like to believe it, So we go on searching. If someone says, hey, you are Brahman, why you have to go for all, we are not satisfied. The more the trouble to reach to a holy place or to a more difficulties, that we feel happy. Oh, this must be like this. The spirituality must be like this. You should not eat anything, and then on so and so day that you should not drink water, or you should, and we are very happy. Oh, our Guru told that we should not eat this, we should not eat that, we cannot sit over here, we cannot lie down over there. A lot of do's and don'ts, give big list, and the student is very happy. Why? Because we are weak. We do not know. So that's why the Vedanta, particularly Vedanta, the path of knowledge, means to those adhikari. That adhikari means a student, whether he is ready or not. And it gives a long definition of the adhikari. Adhikari tu vidhivat adhita Veda Vedanka asmin janmani janmantareva is a big definition. And we think just we'll read a few books or listen to some of the talks of some Swamis and we are following the path of knowledge. Is it so easy? No, one should not make that mistake. Knowing is no problem. That's okay. That academic knowledge is all right, and we should understand that. But friends, again and again, I am following the path of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, his instructions. He says, you must understand your position, and from there you should start traveling. When Narendranath came, Sri Ramakrishna overwhelmed seeing him, because he was that perfect personality who can really understand the Vedanta. Sri Ramakrishna only touched him that much, and immediately he went into that samadhi. And not only that, he was in that condition, seeing Brahman in everything for 3 days and 3 nights. Just a mere touch. But if I am not ready, if the Sri Ramakrishna, I don't know, Sri Ramakrishna can do it, but even when we are not ready, if the Sri Ramakrishna is touching my head or embracing me, it is not possible. So many people came to Sri Ramakrishna, and so many people got his blessed touch also. But could they realize as Narendranath, Swami Vivekananda did? This is our preparation, whether the student is ready to understand this or not. So that is the differences. But we should not lose our hope, oh, I cannot understand. Not like that. Swami Vivekananda said we are traveling from lower truth to higher truth. So we are in this condition. What we should do? Sri Ramakrishna, understanding that what will be easy for us, he is guiding us. He is telling this is this. I said to Harish, this is the whole thing. The gold is hidden under a few basketful of earth. And you must remove the earth, that's all. He is giving an example. The gold is there, some earth is on that. Remove that earth and find it out. Guru will tell you, the preceptor will tell you that gold is hidden within your heart. What is that gold? Your own self. Now this is the way you should remove. What is the way? Take the name of God. Sing the glory of God. Sometimes in quiet place, try to meditate and sincerely pray to God, and those things will be gone. It will be removed. Have faith. Have faith. So this is the way it goes. He is telling the bhaktas retain I consciousness. The Jnani, he said, now the bhaktas retain I consciousness. The Jnanis do not. That is the only difference. Only the other day someone was asking whether it is the same goal where the bhakta is reaching and the jnani is reaching. Yes. But the bhakta is reaching to God because he wants to see God, he wants to live with God, he wants to talk to God, he wants the company of God. He wants, or she wants, the devotee wants. But the jnani wants to go and merge with it. That is the difference. But we go to that. Yes, see, Totapuri ji, he taught how to establish oneself in the true self. Merge the mind in the buddhi. The mind means so many thoughts are constantly passing, and that is called mind. The mana, that is constantly so many thoughts will be there, and you should give it to buddhi. What is that buddhi? Now you know that in Hindus we always have that 4 compartment thing which is known as mind. But we say mana, buddhi, chitta and ahamkara. Here the mind, we should understand, the mind means the sankalpa, vikalpa, atmika manaha. And that is the mind which can't take the decision, is dwindling. But here the way Bhagavan is telling the mana, the mind should be merged with buddhi. That means all our impressions that is there in the storehouse, the antakarana, all those things should be merged with the buddhi. What is that buddhi? It is the determinative capacity. I am going to think like this. And all these impressions that I am having from my past birth, it doesn't matter anything. But the buddhi says there is only one, there is no two. And all my desires which are creating the ripples in my mind, I stop that. That's why the Totapuriji used to teach, give the mind to the buddhi. Sometimes here I was hearing a lecture, some teacher was teaching, watch your all thoughts. That is also the way of meditation, watching the thoughts. And when we are watching the thoughts, my thoughts, I am following those thoughts and trying to understand what is thinking, where it is going, what it wants, etc. I am separate from my thought. That is the important thing, not the following the thought. I am separating myself from my thought. My thought and I are separate. The moment we can do that, there is the goal, and we can now control or we can avoid those thoughts. So that is the same way the meditation means you have to stop all the thought waves. Chitta Vritti Nirodha. In the Yoga Sutra it says, the very first sloka of the Yoga Sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Nirodha means Nirodha is completely cessation. Nirodha is completely stop. And what? Chitta Vritti. What is the Chitta Vritti? The waves of thoughts. Vrittis are the waves. And that we have to stop. How? And it's there are different processes that it says. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, he heard is from his guru, Vedantic guru, Totapuri ji, and give it to the buddhi. And the buddhi will decide, no, we are not going to do anything. Sit over here, calm and quiet. Then it will become calm and quiet. The buddhi is the master. And when he giving the command, and the chitta and the mana, they are all quiet. And listening to the master. The moment it become quiet, that is called meditation, one-pointed, concentrated mind. So that is different process. We have to understand that. Merge the mind in the buddhi and the buddhi in the Atman, then you will be established in your true self. So when you can separate your thought from you, so you, the true self, that is consciousness, you will realize. But the I persists. Now Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, the I that persists, it cannot be got rid of. Imagine a limitless expanse of water. This is giving a beautiful example. What is this I? We always say I, but we do not know what is this I. If you try to explain, it will be so difficult. Ask anyone. I have done this, I know this, I will be able to do this. And like that, if you ask that person, who is this I? The only answer will be, I am the son of so and so, I belong to that family, and I am now in so and so position, in that office, this and that. So it is only the social and a family background, but that is not true I. When we say I, it is associated with this body and mind complex. But that is not true I. So that Sri Ramakrishna is pointing out to that, and he is giving the wonderful example. And what is that example? I persist. It cannot got rid of. Imagine a limitless expanse of water. Limitless expanse of water. Sri Ramakrishna asking us to imagine. Above and below. He already said the limitless. Again, to make the impression what type it is, say he goes on repeating, above and below only water. Before and behind it is water. Right and left, everywhere there is water. In that water is placed a jar filled with water again. There is water inside the jar and the water outside the jar. But the jar is still there. The I is the jar. So how nicely he said. And what is the consciousness? It is above, below, in the left and the right, in the front, in the back, everywhere. Now, still there is a little difference. I am making that difference, and that is only that jar, earthen jar, or maybe whatever the metal jar, that thing, though it is inside water, outside water, but still it thinks I am separate. Only that much. But still then it is so difficult to go beyond the I. Anywhere, everywhere, it is I and I. The other day, one young lady came, hardly 9 or 10 years. So I was trying to tell her, so this is the, I know, this is I know. She has read a lot. All our books she has read. But when you try to say that I know, that is self-confidence. It's okay, it's good. But at the same time, when we say from that childhood, I, everywhere, but try to understand what is this I. And from the spiritual point of view, this I is the greatest bondage. That's why we cannot realize God. And we cannot feel that we are God. We are that Brahman, we are that consciousness. This is the predicament. And it's so funny. So though it is so simple, but still we cannot break that. Why? Because this is Maya. And how to get rid of this Maya? Because this is the power of God. We have to go to God only and to ask, please stop this Maya. It's like the dog, terrible dog. So please stop your dog. It is barking, trying to bite me. Please stop it. And the owner will say, hey, stop it immediately. It will go away. It will be quiet. So how to go beyond this Maya? We have to go to God. That is the easiest way. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, even after attaining knowledge, the Jnani keeps his body as before, but the fire of knowledge burns away his lust and other passions. Sri Ramakrishna going side by side, giving the description of the bhakta and the jnana, the devotion and knowledge. As Mahimacharan, he has a bent of knowledge, bent of mind towards knowledge, so he wants to do that. So it is telling like this, the Mahimacharan, to teach Mahimacharan, Sri Ramakrishna is telling us, both the paths are the valid paths and both are correct, good. But the Jnana marg is like this and Bhakti marg is like this. Now how, what happens? This is the process. Now what happens after the realization of the self of the Brahman? This is like this, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, after attaining that knowledge, the self-knowledge, the Brahma Jnana, the Jnani keeps his body as before. But the fire of knowledge burns away his lust and other passions. So this is the great master. It's so clear. Those who really like to know that person is there, he is also showing his anger, maybe telling that I like to eat this, I like to visit that, I like to put on this, but his mind is not at all attached to all this. Any moment it can withdraw this. Ma Sharadamani Devi, Swami Vivekananda's life, and a living example of all this. The attachment, in the beginning we are telling, who can realize? The one who is not having the attachment, who is not having any possession. No, he is not telling like that. That's a wrong conception. Tyaga means you have to give up everything and then go that, that naked body. Sometimes some people go like that in India. They behave like that. They are thinking, if we go like this, I am not having any possession. Not even a piece of cloth on my body, I am not having any possession. That is not the idea. Idea you are carrying in your mind. That is the main thing. There is a beautiful story, maybe we will come across over here. Sri Ramakrishna himself said that usually the monastics, they take the vow, so obviously they don't like to go in contact with the ladies, women. So that is the vow of celibacy. Like the Catholic priest, like the Catholic monks, like that. So Indian monks, the Buddhist monks, the Catholic monks, the vow of celibacy. And the Guru told that you should avoid the women, don't try ever touch them. Now what happened? The disciples, they were going, suddenly they heard someone was crying and asking for help. Please save me, save me. Then they ran and they found that a lady, she is drowning in the river, carried away by the current. The one immediately plunged into the water and then swam and then brought her back. And the other was shouting, no, don't go there. She's a lady, we cannot touch her. So that was, the two got the teaching from the same Guru, but one is thinking in this way, the Guru asked her not to touch the lady, so we should not do, but when she is dying, it is not a man or a woman, it is a person that dying. And if it is possible for us, we should try to help. But he forgot. This man went and brought her back and helped her to reach back her own home and in the village, and then came back. In the meantime, the other one, the Puritan, he came back to the ashrama and he was telling to his Guru, my friend, he violated your instruction and he has done this. He touched that lady and he then took her to her house and like this and that. You know what Guru said? Guru said he only carried that lady up to her, from that water up to her house. and into that safety, then he forgot about. But look at your mind. You are still carrying that. So this is important. So when our mind should be completely free from any attachment, any desire. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling the Jnanis, the man of knowledge, they are having that knowledge, but they are behaving just like a normal person having that body, but there is no attachment. So this is very, very important. And even after attaining knowledge, the Jnani keeps his body as before, but the fire of knowledge burns away his lust and other passions. Many days ago, during an electric storm, he is giving example. Sri Ramakrishna, any statement he will give, any teaching he will give, immediately he will give an example so that we can understand it very clearly and can remember it. Many days ago, during an electric storm, a thunderbolt struck the Kali temple. We saw that no injury had been done to the doors. Only the points of the screws were broken. By telling this, immediately he is giving the example. The doors are the body, and the passions, lust and so forth are the screws. So when the thunderbolt comes and the body is all right, it will be like that. That means the knowledge has come, knowledge has dawned, body is as it is not changing. But at the same time, this completely goes. So the people always think religious people means they'll be having a different aura around them. No, it is that normal body. Sometimes some people are good looking, sometimes are not. That is not the thing. But the main thing, how to understand whether a person is a religious person or not, whether he has the attachment or not. How to understand whether attachment or not, he is having the ego or not. So unselfishness and love, these are the two yardsticks to understand a holy person. Unselfishness and love for all. So these are the two things Sri Ramakrishna is telling. A Jnani loves to talk only about God. So how to understand Jnani? He feels pained if one talks about the worldly things. The Veda speaks of the 7 planes of mind. Sri Ramakrishna, he never read the scripture in that way, but he heard it from the different scholars. And whatever he heard, he remembered it. And moreover, his own revelations, his own realizations, that is the unique way coming out as his teaching. He is telling, the Veda speaks of the 7 planes of mind. When the Jnani's mind ascends to the 5th plane, he cannot listen to anything or talk of anything but God. At that stage only words of wisdom come from his lips. Friends, I will tell you, mostly we know that almost all people nowadays, yoga is so popular, and mostly people, they know about the 7 places of the yoga. The Yoga Sutra, it says Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agga Chakra and Sahasrara. These are the 7 according to the yoga. But we do not know much about the bhakti, the devotion, and also the jnana. In devotion also they say it is Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavad Bhajan, Anartha Nivritti, Bhagavan Asakti, Bhavavesha, Prema Ishare. These are the 7s. Shraddha means that confidence. Confidence in the words of the Guru and also the scripture. Satsanga, sadhu sanga means holy company. Bhagavad bhajan, and having the love for God and singing the God's glory. Anartha nivritti, they will never discuss anything except God. Unnecessarily we discuss so many things. It's a wastage of time. Bhagavani asakti is a great attachment to God. Asakti is attachment. Attachment to God, not to the worldly things. Attachment to God. Then it comes, he goes into trance, bhava vesha, and prema ishari. The prema, the word when they use, that means it is only one pointed love, one way, one flow. It doesn't want anything else. I love you, O God. That's much. So everything is nothing but the God. These are the 7 stages of the devotion. Now Sri Ramakrishna is talking about the jnana. The jnanis are also having the 7 planes. What are that? First is subhecha. Second, bicharana. Tanu manasa. Then sattvapatti. Asama shakti. Padartha bhavana. And tulyaga. These are the 7. Very first stage is the desire to be free. So it says Shubha Ichha, Shubha Ichha, Shubhecha. This Shubhecha means, the Shubha means holy. Ichha means desire, holy desire. What is that holy desire? I like to be liberated. This is another word, mumukshuta. The mumukshuta also, I want to get liberation. Who can say that? One who has already realized that this world is so temporary. So when he feels the world is temporary, so naturally he wants to go back to the permanent one, which is God, which is the Brahman. So when that desire comes, then what happens? Bicharana, discrimination, bichara. It is the inquiry, it is the judging things. So that bichara. Oh, I saw my grandfather was also having this. Then he purchased this plot of land and constructed house. Then one day he died. Then the father was somewhere else. Now that house is a haunted house. Nobody lives over there. And we cannot sell that property also for so many other things. Then why we are so much attached to the properties, to the wealth, to name and fame, where it goes? What in the world we do? So many millions are dying without food, in hunger. And a few people, they are having so much of wealth, they do not know how to use it. They'll be simply throwing food and wasting money, and that is just little ego. I am wealthy man, I can spend like this. But that is completely foolish. You cannot eat gold. And whatever the wealth that you are having in different places, that is not going to help you to survive. You are going to die. And when you will die, so many millions of rich people were there, kings were there. Who is going to remember them? But we remember those who were broad-minded, charitable people. They use their mind, their brain, their capacity, and they earn money. But at the same time, they were not selfish people. They understood this much money is sufficient for me, and they gave it away to others. They are great people. And in the next birth, they will be much higher. They will go to higher spiritual level. That is called bicharana. That is called the discrimination. What I am going to do. So the first step is, am I happy in this world? After I was thinking, if I get this position, if I am successful in my life in pass the Only the other day the one lady was telling, when I was very small, then they told it is only class 10, and in class 10 if you get the first division, then you are all free. After that, another 2 years, only class 12, the grade 12. Then after that 12 is over, they said now is only another 3 years, graduation, then the master degree, then this. And if you are not doing any research work or getting the doctorate degree, so it is so shameful. And then of that also, then one day I started thinking, so many people are every year passing out from the universities, having these, then what they are going to do with that? Earning little money, then one day people will forget, and that fellow also, God forbid, maybe one day will forget what actually he learned or she learned. And then other people, some nurses, they will be helping him or her to eat, and one day he will die. This is the whole circle, and for that I am wasting my life. So this is the way they always think, and these are the people, they come for monastic life. The monastic lives are like this, they go on thinking. So Shubhecha, that pure thinking, that is the first step. Then Bicharana, the discrimination. Third, Tanu Manasa. The beautiful words they have used. Tanu Manasa, the mind become thin. Why? It is not thinking about the worldly things. There are so many things. When you read the newspapers, so many ideas comes. Oh, this is happening here, it is happening there. So much of heaviness on the mind because we are getting all the informations of the worldly things. But when we are completely free of that, only thinking about the God and the God I love, and only some of the songs praising that God, only a little few things. So as if the mind become very slim. Tanu Manasa. Then it comes the Sattvapatti. Sattvapatti means self-realization. Sattvapatti immediately. Then comes the fifth stage about which the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. Asama Shakti, non-attachment. This Asama Shakti, they are there. They are living in this world, roaming in the world, mixing with worldly people, talking to them, but they are not attached. That is the beauty. That's why they give the example of the swan. What the swan? It is floating on the water, and that's going down to the water, coming up. The moment it comes up, there is not a single drop of water on it. That is called swan. The Ramakrishna Mission symbol, if you see, in the center there is a picture of swan. Don't take it so literally that Ramakrishna Mission is there is a swan as their pet. It's not like that. It is only the symbol, and the symbol is this. Most of the Hindu things are symbol, but we don't understand that. So this is the problem. They have given the symbol that the Shiva is having the snake. The snake means that is the Kundalini Shakti. Now we have drawn the Shiva is sitting on the snake and having the snake as a girlfriend, snake as all the wrong thing. No, it is not. Some people even go and give the milk to the snake, thinking that this is the Shiva's thing. Shiva's, of course, all the living beings of God, but the snakes are not drinking milk. It is not the snake's food. But anyway, some people think like that. But that is a wrong conception. That is here itself self-realization. And when the self-realization means, their next thing is Asama Shakti. Asama Shakti. And that is called non-attachment. That is the greatest strength of a yogi. One who has already realized God or trying to realize God should not make any wrong conception that I should not live with this and live with that. They should be in everything, but power is non-attachment. This is the way. Then Padartha Bhavana, non-perception of object, and Turu Yoga, transcend. So these are the 7. Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning about the 5th one, and he is mentioning here, the Veda speaks of the Satchidananda Brahman. Brahman is neither one nor two. And this is a unique way, once again, Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. If you have the conception of one, obviously you will have the conception of many. So the Brahman means not the conception of one and not the two. Sri Ramakrishna is telling two means many. It is not one, it is not many, it is, that's all. Asti iti. Conception is so clear and very simple word he is mentioning, because he is the God himself. He is that Brahman himself in the human form. The Veda speaks of Satchidananda Brahman. Brahman is neither one nor two. It is between one and two. It cannot be described either as existence or as non-existence. It is between existence and non-existence. When the devotee develops raga bhakti, passionate love of God, he realizes Him. So one sentence he is talking about the knowledge, and next line he is talking about the devotion, the bhakti, and this is the way he is going on describing. The God he realizes. Now the Veda speaks of Satchidananda, Satchidananda. Sat means existence. Chit is the knowledge. And Ananda means the bliss. Now, apart from these, they cannot describe the Brahman. That is the problem. And they are only giving the hints. And getting that hints, we can go up to that. And we, after the realization of Brahman, what happens? We become Brahman. And we cannot come back to tell. Even we are coming back, we cannot describe the Brahman because it is beyond that. And in different way, they have given that example. Natatra bhashate surya, etc. There is no sun, there is no another light. The eye cannot reach over there. The ear cannot, or you cannot touch, like that, like that. So many ways in the Upanishads they are describing about the Brahman. It is only your own realization. Swami Vivekananda said, Bojhe pran bojhe jar. In Bengali, in a poem he has written, one who has realized, he only can understand. By telling it is impossible, by reading it is impossible, by trying to narrate it is impossible. It is only that experience, and you cannot understand anything of that just by reading. Just conception is coming. Now Sri Ramakrishna is going to the devotees. When the devotee develops raga bhakti is the ultimate devotion for God. Vaidhi bhakti, vidhivat bhakti, that you have to get up in the morning, you have to do so many japa, you have to do these, and that is all vidhis. Vidhis means the rules are there. Vidhi means rules. This is the system. You have to follow that. And when a person is doing that, he does that because of the routine. And slowly that loves, that goes, and then one day it develops pure love for God. That is called raga. Raga means attachment. Without the God I cannot survive. Without God I don't see anything. So that is called raga bhakti. So that raga bhakti, passionate love of God, he realizes Him. Friends, let us stop over here. It is almost time. And in our next Wednesday, next class, we will begin from here, the 7 planes, and particularly the Raga Bhakti, the devotion. Thank you.
So there are some questions. The first question is from Chitra. Can you please explain how Swaguna Brahman and Saguna Brahman are different? So SWAGUNA and SAGUNA.
Swaguna and Saguna.
Swaguna, Saguna.
The Saguna Brahma and Swaguna. Swa means its own, and Saguna, the Brahman with the qualities. The Brahman means consciousness. When it is with qualities, that means is activated, active. So that is called Saguna Brahma. Thank you.
The next question is from Srima Vishwas. She is asking, why is it not used to tell from childhood, none is your own?
Oh, good. Srimaji is the teaching. One lady, she did it. And that's why Swami Vivekananda in his talk also mentioned about that. That lady's name was Madalasa. Have you heard about that, Madalasa? This Madalasa, she was a Jnani and she was married to a king. And when she gave the birth of a child, and she used to all the time sing before that baby, and used to go on telling, you are Brahman, you are Brahman, you are Brahman. You are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not belong to this world. And one after another, her all children became, when they grew up, they realized that this world is illusory, all temporary, and they all left for the meditation. So the Madalasha did. So if all become Madalasas, then this world won't be there. And if the world is not there, then what will happen to the scripture? To whom we will explain? Thank you. I'm just joking. Thank you. Now let us complete this. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.